How's it going, everybody? Joel Perkoski, also known as JP, the insurance guy here with the Rob Teeter Agency Farmers Insurance. Hope you all are having a great day. Actually doing this video here on Wednesday in response to last week's Trivia Tuesday video. Tried doing a couple videos yesterday, but both of them malfunctioned, so, yay for technology as always. We love it and we make it work, but sometimes we just kind of shake our heads. So, responding to the video I posted last week about the awesome topic of what happens if someone is killed in a motor vehicle accident. We did get some feedback on that video on the Facebook business page, and basically the couple of comments that were left were very accurate and very truthful. There was not a lot of incorrect information, if any, in those remarks that were left. So you guys are actually pretty smart. I guess you have good insurance agents or something like that. So basically, to cover the bases as concisely and as accurately as possible, in the event that there is a motor vehicle accident where someone is killed, it ultimately depends on the coverage on the existing policy held by that insured. You have to purchase coverage that would protect your vehicle in any event, in any kind of collision or otherwise. And if that coverage isn't there, it's not automatically forgotten about or litigated in the event of fatality. So that's something to think about there when you're buying your policy. Obviously, if the coverage isn't there and something happens, well, it's kind of up to either your next of kin or up to an administrator or executor of an estate to handle the property after it has been damaged. So if you have the coverage on your policy to protect it against physical damage at a time like that, that would be covered by the insurance company through the claim process. With that being said, is when it comes to medical and other what are called first-party benefits on the policy, again, you have to purchase them or make sure the right coverage is selected. Specifically, there are two coverage options that come hand in hand when it's time to think about any kind of fatality in an accident. The one is called funeral benefits coverage. The other is called accidental death coverage. Both of these are optional in New York and Pennsylvania. They're not mandated. In New York, they're actually included under what's called the Optional Basic Economic Loss Package, or OBEL, whereas in Pennsylvania, they're actual separate breakout coverage options, and you have to select them. They don't just come on in the event there's a fatality. You actually have to have been paying for these coverages all along. Really, they're not expensive. So as your agent, I advise only people to buy them, and I usually include it in every quote I do, because they're just so affordable. It just makes sense. When it comes to the funeral benefits coverage, the maximum you can have is $2,500, and this benefit is paid to a funeral home in the event of death upon the accident, or the provision also states, I believe it's either 12 months or 24 months, if any injuries as the result of an accident proved to be fatal. I'd have to do some checking on that if you want specifics, but it's either 12 or 24 months. And then that coverage would pay out. Now, when it comes to accidental death coverage, there are different limits per carrier. The ones I'm used to dealing with are either $5,000, $10,000, or $25,000. I believe there may be a $50,000 option, but don't hold me to that. I think that depends on the carrier and the state. So those two coverages work together in the event that someone is killed in an accident to cover funeral expenses and other expenses that come along with it. So ultimately, it does depend on what coverage you select. Now, one other point I'd like to bring up here before we conclude the video has to do specifically with motorcycle insurance. So there are some carriers out there that do not offer any medical coverage at all for motorcycle policies, none whatsoever. This could be a problem in the event of an accident where there's a fatality. So you definitely want to do your homework on your policy when you're, looking at it at renewal or you're going to shop it around. You definitely want to make sure you have the coverage on there if that's a concern. The reason I'm bringing this up is because the individual who actually asked the question read about a horrific motorcycle accident and wanted to know specifically in that situation what happens. Well, there's your answer. It really depends on what coverage you have. A lot of the carriers we work with for motorcycle insurance, they offer this kind of stuff, so it's not a question of whether it's offered or not. It's just a matter of whether you bought it or not. However, I know of at least one carrier that does not offer any kind of medical or first-party benefit coverage on their motorcycle policies. So again, just buyer beware. That's about it. So we're going to post another video here later on in the week that will pose a question to you guys and see what we come up with. So thanks a lot for watching. Hope you all have a great sunny day. Take care.